Well, I've got some hopes for this budget. I'm really excited because all along I've been saying that I don't want to just meet the legal obligations of McCleary, but I want to make sure that we have great policy that's going to continue to take our students into the next generation. And I think that's what we're going to see in this new budget. That's what I'm hoping for. Of course, we're going to fully fund the McCleary legal obligations that we have, which I think in and of itself will also make a big impact. But in addition to that, I hope to see COLAs for our teachers who haven't had a cost of living raise in so long. I hope to see good policies that we have passed in the Education Committee funded, policies that are going to help with STEM, science, technology, and education, building our workforce for the future, policies that help career and technical education. Not all students want to go to college. We have some policies in there that will help students choose their path. Policies that will help with social emotional learning and mental health collaborations so that we can make sure that all our kids who are hurting in school have somewhere to go and their needs met so that we can continue to have them reach their full academic potential. And we know they can't if they're sitting in our classrooms hurting. We passed the Early Start Bill. This is a bill that is really exciting because it puts in dollars into the early developmental stages of our children, which research supports are crucial years for them. And we want to make sure that every child who enters kindergarten is ready to learn. We want to make sure that every child has a level playing field when they walk in that door on the first day of kindergarten. And I think by putting in dollars and investments into our early childhood providers and daycare centers, we hope to see that difference, and I believe we will. There's a few policies in there that I'm really excited about. One is we want to make sure that our children have high standards, and we want to make sure that teachers have accountability, but we want to stop teaching to the test. We want to make sure that making that a graduation requirement and teaching to that is not what education is all about. Instead, we want to make sure that our children have opportunities in the future and high standards and accountability. So what does that look like? What it means is we have a comprehensive high school and beyond plan for our children so that as they're going through, we can make sure that if they want to enter the workforce and go into apprenticeship jobs or the military or community and technical colleges and do something in the career and technical field, that they're going to come out with a living wage job. We want to make sure that students who want to go into higher education have every opportunity to do that. We want to make sure these plans are built around what our children's desires, passions, and talents are. I think that's what every parent wants for their child, and that's certainly what we want in the Education Committee. There's a bill that came out that is going to make sure that schools who expel or suspend students continue to provide them an education. You know, one of the funniest things, or ironic things, I guess I should say, about our discipline policies right now is you can go into the juvenile detention center, you could get picked up for criminal offense and go to juvenile detention and you will get an education. But we can expel you from our schools and provide you with nothing. That has to change. It is a constitutional right for all students to be educated. It is a constitutional mandate for all children to be educated, and nowhere in that does it say unless you suspend them from school. So instead of kicking our kids out, I want to see us embracing them and making sure that they continue having access to education, because we all know that education's what's going to take them into the future. Education's what's going to keep them out of prison. Education's what's going to help them get passionate about school again and a workforce and contribute to our economy. So cutting them off from that is not good for them, it's not good for our families, and it's certainly not good for our communities. What it means is we'll have to have planning. We'd have to have transition plans for children to come back. You know, you mess up, what are we going to do? Yes, you're going to make some remediation on that, but how are we going to get you back in school? How are you going to access services of education to keep you on track so that you could come back and jump back in and do the work? We may have to remove you from your peers for a little bit, but we don't need to remove you from educational attainment. I am so honored and humbled to be in this position, to be able to fight for these very critical issues and many more, and I really want to hear from my constituents. I welcome emails, phone calls, people to stop by. I just want to thank my constituents of the 21st for having confidence in me to make sure that I continue to fight for the issues that are important to you.